Cheryl Hines is the sweetest human being. I love her so much.
We had people throughout this shoot with Cheryl say that she was the nicest person in show business. I have absolutely nothing to refute that, and everything to support that.
Listen, I really appreciate all the work that you've done here, and reaching out to my friends, my sister. It's been so great, and really a moment to like breathe and just take it in.
No, well, it was
very
fun, and you deserve it too. So.
Okay, well, let's not go that far. Thank you.
It was one of my favorite conversations I've ever had the opportunity to have with our show.
We did the sit-down interview at Bobby and Cheryl's house, and when you walk in, I mean, the first thing that hits you is just the historical significance of the Kennedy family. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is, of course, the son of Robert Kennedy, the nephew of John F. Kennedy, and it's just incredible just looking at some of the things in that house.
It's kind of like a museum in some ways, just the amount of history that they have on display there.
And of course, you have Cheryl, who's famous for Curb Your Enthusiasm, and in the living room, you see like, the handwritten note from John F. Kennedy, and then a Latte Larry's pillow from the Curb show, and it's like, wow, you're really on completely two different stages of celebrity here.
She made it sound like Larry David is exactly what you think Larry David is like. I think one of my favorite things was whenever she got the role, and she was told Larry, like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
And he said, I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. I go, can I just have a moment of happiness? Yes, it is true. I'm telling you, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be that excited about something like that, and then have somebody like Larry David be like, stop being excited.
One of the things I didn't realize about Cheryl before putting together the research was how much and how long she struggled before she made it.
When I turned 30, I was still living in a one-bedroom apartment, rent-controlled one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood. I was still bartending and talked to my sister. And my sister said, well, why don't you come back to Florida? Come back to Florida. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to keep pursuing my acting. If I'm 75 and still in this one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood, it's going to be okay.
There's a lesson for all of us in that of just persevering and pushing through. And I think we can all learn a little something from Cheryl's story.
The move that she made to LA from home and the letters that her family wrote to her that's connected to that are still really, really powerful for her. And I don't think I expected when we were there filming together that they would have led to such a reaction today.
Okay, this is for my sister, Becky. It says, share. Be safe, happy, and motivated in LA. I'll be seeing you. Okay. I can't even. Okay. I'll be seeing you soon. I can't even read this. Okay. But until then, I'll carry you in my heart, as always, and see your smile and everything beautiful. Travel with the knowledge that I love you as much as anything in the world. And it's for my sister. Oh, yay, why did we do this? This is ridiculous.
And no doubt what kind of made that more emotional is, one of those letters is from her brother who died of a heart attack back in 2018. And, Cheryl is a very genuine person, seems to wear kind of her emotions on her sleeve, like has no problem opening up. And so we got to see that.
Going to the comedy show / political fundraiser for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was an experience unlike any other that I've had.
We got the opportunity to shoot an interview with Cheryl and with RFK backstage at a theater. So it was like in a small green room. I know we had like Carlos tucked literally in a closet. Everybody was kind of just like, you know, shimmied in one way or another.
She's married to a political candidate who has very controversial views on things and isn't afraid to voice those views. And so Cheryl, a lot of times, you know, doesn't share these same opinions on things.
And the dynamic, at times the tension that has created in their relationship, I thought was a really interesting part of their marriage.
There was a tough moment where you proposed like publicly separating for like a cool down period. What was the thinking then, and what were the kind of positive lessons learned from that?
It was something I said that was then misinterpreted by the press and attributed to me, and it was very harmful and hurtful, and it was damaging to Cheryl. I felt an obligation to protect her, and so I made that suggestion to her at the time that we should have a kind of faux separation to make people to make it stop.
And you had to be thinking, what the hell is
I was like,
this?
well, maybe that's not the best way to go about it.
Right.
It was a sweet thought, but yeah, not the right one.
I got a big kick out of the emu story that Cheryl and Robert F. Kennedy told us. I don't know why anybody would ever need a pet emu.
I mean, they're large, they're annoying. I mean, it's like, it's an ostrich. It's basically like having a pet ostrich.
Apparently for RFK, like it was fine. Like he grew up around like animals like that, so it was like no big deal. Meanwhile, Cheryl's like running around because the thing would sometimes chase her and like bite her.
She was trying to have a comedy when you were doing that, when you were pitching that film.
Yes, I was trying to get funding for a film, and I could only get reception outside, so I was walking around outside on my phone.
This was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Trying to describe what the film would be about, and the emu, Toby, starts chasing me. And this thing is coming up behind me, and I'm sweating bullets, and then I finally see it runs into the house, and then I close the glass doors and finish my conversation, but now I have an emu in my house, and you know, yeah, by the time he got home, I was like, I'm done.
I would come home and she'd be at the computer looking up how long do emus live.
And they live a long time, by the way. They live a long time.
I'm definitely team Cheryl when it comes to whether or not you should have an emu as a pet. Seems like a weird, crazy idea.
What stood out to me most from sitting down with both of them was that, you know, here's this Kennedy who's running for president. They have a million handlers like wanting to get going, and they don't have a care in the world, and they're fully engaged with me.
So the comedy show we were at started late, in part because of us. The interview wraps basically on time, but then Kennedy's going through his phone, sending all of these emu pictures to Graham for us to use, which was great. I'm glad we got those photos, but it was like, all right, like, I appreciate it, but like, does this need to happen right now? Like, you've got guys breathing down my neck here, like, we need to go.
I'm so proud of Cheryl. I love watching her on the air, I love watching her at home. She fills all of the empty spots inside of me.
Honey, baby, that's so sweet.